I want to come out and take advantage of the sun because she needs some light. Hi guys, so I am here to do a container video because container gardening is the one that is requested the most of me. So I am coming on here to give you guys a how-to to get started with container gardening. Please forgive the wind. It is a little windy today because it just got done raining. So I'm gonna try to speak loudly as possible. I'm not really a loud person, so I'm gonna try to speak as loudly as I can so you guys can hear me over the wind. I know it's gonna be annoying, but you guys know I'm gonna do a voiceover anyway, so just bear with me. I planted these strawberries. I'm out of breath already. Joys of being, I'm already out of breath. Look, we are 29 weeks, 6 months pregnant. I am ready to go. So I planted these strawberries last year. As you can see, they look very healthy. These last year, let them sit outside over the winter. As you can see, they still look good. They never lost that luscious green look. And we have flowers coming in. And where there are flowers, there are berries. So we're very excited. New leaves. I haven't even touched these. I've done nothing with these. I have not fertilized them. I have not, I'm out of breath, I'm sorry. Have not watered them since last year, but they are still flourishing on their own. So I can definitely recommend that strawberries are perfect for container gardening. So if you guys want some fresh vegetables, I would definitely do strawberries in containers. You can grow just about anything you want in containers. There are some things that grow better than others. Like your herbs are gonna grow better, like parsley, basil, lavender, sage. Basically all of the herbs are gonna grow extremely well within the within your container gardenings. Because some herbs such as mint are invasive and will take over if you try to plant it outside somewhere. Trust me, it's gonna take over. I grew up with my granny having mint, and each year it would just be all over the place. She would always cut it down, but it would always come back up. But she would just go outside and pluck her mint leaves off and make some tea, baby. My granny was woke before woke was a thing. Do you hear me? She was already on it. The ancestors was already blessing her, okay? Container gardening is one of my most requested. So that's what we're gonna focus on today. What you need to get started, you'll need a container for one. So go out and get a container. I tell everybody, you do not, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, go to Home Depot, spend like $3 on this one or $10 on that one. I'm gonna tell you a cheap way to do it, because some of us don't have the money to be out spending all our coins when we could just be cheap about it and still get the same results. So you can go to the Dollar Tree and get those dollar containers, and those work just fine. The next thing you'll need is potting soil. You don't have to go to Home Depot if you cannot afford Home Depot prices. Walmart has some for about $5. Trust me, that is where me and my mom go. And if y'all go into my mom's house, it is a jungle in there. You're gonna need fertilizer for things like lettuces and stuff. I use blood meal, and they turned out like really well. So my lettuces, I used blood meal on it. I used it to save a couple of plants that were attacked by heaven knows what. I don't know what came in. It could have been a bunny, it could have been a groundhog. Both are very prominent in this neighborhood, as well as the cats, but I've never seen the cats attack my garden. I've seen them come in here and take a nap in the garden, but I've never seen them eat. But I know them alley cats don't play with the vegetables either, so you have to be on the lookout with them. So I had to put the fence up, and the garden bed that's outside of the fence, I dug up all of those plants and I placed them in the bed over here, and I put blood meal mixed in with the earth, and they are doing really well. The ones that did not fit in the bed, I put in a container, and they are also doing well. I'll insert a picture so you guys can see how well they're doing. When it comes to the tomatoes and the peppers, they kind of have the same requirements. I would look for something that says like tomato and vegetable organic. I know Burpee has one. You can go to Walmart to get that. It's not that expensive, and you don't need to use a lot. You fertilize the grounds a couple months later, like 3 months later, you come back, you fertilize it again, so you don't need that much. The next thing you'll need is a good source of light. I know a lot of people, they place their containers outside. For my apartment people, let's talk to y'all. To my apartment people, you are gonna want to invest in a grow light. You don't need, I'm so sorry. You look into investing in a grow light, you're definitely gonna want 6 to 8 hours. Things like the lettuces don't require that much, and they can survive off of partial shade or not as much sunlight. But if you're gonna grow something like peppers or tomatoes in your apartment, you're gonna want to invest in a grow light. Mother Tia is telling you right now, you're gonna want to invest in a grow light. I have friends that are like, my plants died already. You're not having enough sunlight. I told y'all, like, you can't just plant it, you gotta have sunlight. That is important, just like water. Sunlight is important. If you don't get those plants sunlight, then they will die. Somebody had to tell y'all. And then obviously a source of water. So those are all of the things that you're gonna need. Container gardening is very similar to traditional gardening. All you have to do is take what you know with traditional gardening and apply it to container gardening. There are some different rules, such as the depth of the pot, how big the pot is, how large the root system of the plant grows, if it's a shallow root system, or if the roots like to dig really deep. That's gonna be a determining factor. But you can grow anything in, I'm out of breath again, I'm so sorry. You can grow anything in containers and you'll be fine. I've seen people grow watermelons in containers. So if they can grow watermelons in containers, baby, you can grow in containers whatever you want. Hey guys, so once you have all of the materials that you need, you want to start off with your container, and you're going to fill that up with soil. I am going to fill it up to that first line that you see before the top of the container, and I'll show you why later. I am using topsoil. I know I mentioned potting soil, but I had a ton of topsoil left over from last year, so I'm just going to add fertilizer. This topsoil does have manure in it, so there you see me showing you how deep the root system is, and that is why I stopped at that line. So I'm just going to place the veggies where I want them to sit. I was out in the garden earlier that day and I found an onion right there, just randomly in one of the beds that was left over from last year. And then I'm just going to take some soil, but I forgot the fertilizer, so I'm going to quickly add the fertilizer. You see me like, wait a minute, stop, because I forgot the fertilizer. So that's me adding fertilizer. And now I'm going to go ahead and get to adding the soil. So that's me there. The soil at the bottom, you want to remain loose so that it'll give the root systems from each plant enough wiggle room to grow. And then you just want to lightly compact the dirt or soil or earth, whatever you want to call it, at the top, just to make it a little snug and help the plant stand up straight. Not too hard though. You don't want the soil to be too compacted, because those plants are going to need a lot of room to grow. So I'm just filling in the empty spaces, surrounding the plants, getting them nice and snug so they can stand up straight for me, or as straight as I can get them. And these are pole beans, so you'll see me at the end grab a tomato cage and stick it in there, because they're gonna want to reach out and grab something to grow one, because they grow like a vine. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you guys next time.